In this video, I want to talk about how to feel more naturally motivated to get things done, how to feel more inspired throughout your days and your weeks to take action towards your goals, towards even your deadline-driven tasks in a way that feels more natural and less like, okay, I've got to push myself to do things and I have to do this and I must do that. But before I talk about how to create more natural motivation, I want to share with you an experience that I have pretty regularly. It kind of demonstrates the ideas that I'm about to discuss. Every so often, my partner Luke will give me some kind of suggestion, an idea, where he's like, you know what, I think that you should buy this thing. I think you'd really love it. Or you should go to this place with your friends. I think you'd have a really good time. Or you should organize your room like this. I think it'd really benefit you. And of course, when he gives me these suggestions, I'm, great idea. Yes, like that sounds good. But I don't really do anything with those ideas. It's one of my toxic traits. But 6 months will go by. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, you know what I should do? Go to that place with my friends. I think I'd have a really good time. Ooh, I should organize my room like that. That would really benefit me. And in that moment, the ideas that Luke previously recommended to me will feel like my ideas. They'll come to me as my own original, fresh, unique thought. And of course, in that moment, I will feel naturally motivated to actually take action because it doesn't feel like an external recommendation or something that's come from anywhere outside of me. Instead, it feels like my own thought. And our own thoughts, our own ideas, almost always come with more motivation than the ideas that others have or the advice that others give, right? We know this. People are much more likely to follow their own ideas than to follow your advice because our own ideas just feel better and they just come with more motivation. And this relates really strongly to getting things done in a more natural way and experiencing more natural motivation in your days and in your weeks. It's easy to get into the habit of creating so much structure and all of these, to-dos and plans and systems and time blocks. And it gets to the point where getting things done, all of your tasks and your projects feel like they are being externally imposed upon you rather than you having the idea in the moment to do the thing. In fact, sometimes we can get so structured that it impedes our natural motivation, like it cuts down our natural motivation, which is why I want to talk about some ideas for things that you can do to create a little bit more natural motivation in your life. Firstly, you want to start treating your brain a little bit more like the ChatGPT that it is, the AI algorithm that it truly is, but it's superior to ChatGPT. And what I mean by that is you want to be giving your brain a lot of direction. So talking about natural motivation, it kind of sounds like I'm saying, do what you want to do in the moment. And if you feel naturally inspired to do something, just do it. But if you have deadlines and you have projects with clients, there are people relying on what you do, just doing what you feel in the moment all the time probably won't help you to achieve those goals. Instead, you want to give your brain a lot of direction as to what kind of natural motivation that you want it to give you. So that might just mean on a daily basis, writing down things like your areas of responsibility that you want to be making progress in each day. That could be, relationships, food, fitness, a list of your goals, but also things like your deadlines, making sure that your brain is aware of these things that are important to you that you want to feel naturally motivated to do. Once again, this is about giving your brain direction in the same way that you might give ChatGPT a bit more direction. You're informing your brain, hey, these are all the things that I have on my plate. I want natural motivation to work on these specific areas. Without having that crystal clear in your mind, it's going to be a little bit harder to work with natural motivation because you'll just feel natural motivation to do any old thing. So make sure that you're giving your mind direction. Secondly, try creating trigger lists instead of to-do lists. So your trigger list is kind of the direction that I was talking about. Your list of deadlines for the week, your list of projects that you want to work on for the week, your list of areas of responsibility. You're triggering your brain for natural motivation. Then what you want to do is kind of just sit and wait for natural motivation to come. So this is no media time. You're not going to be sitting there on your phone because that is a way of directing your attention that will kind of block natural motivation from coming up. Instead, you want to sit there being crystal clear on the things that you want to make progress on. And then you want to sit there and wait for natural motivation to arrive because it will. If you're just sitting there and you have nothing else going on and it's calm and your mind is calm, eventually you will feel naturally motivated to move towards something, to move towards some kind of goal. And if you've already pre-prompted your mind with the goals that you want yourself to move towards, it'll end up more likely that you'll be naturally motivated to move towards those goals. And the thing is that a lot of the things that you'll feel naturally motivated to do are tasks and to-dos that would usually have ended up on your structured to-do list. But sometimes that structured to-do list can feel kind of like someone else giving you a suggestion, can feel like it's coming from an external place, not internally. Whereas when you sit down and you go, I'm going to wait until I feel naturally motivated to do something, I've given my brain plenty of direction, it knows where it needs to motivate me towards, you'll then get sparked with some kind of idea and you'll be like, maybe I do feel like doing that actually. And there'll be more natural motivation with that spark than there would be from you reading it off of a to-do list. A few caveats is there's a time and place for a time block. There's a time and place for a to-do list. And it may be that you want to live your life partly with structure and partly with more natural motivation. The reason that I'm talking about natural motivation is because it's more fun. Natural motivation and living your life with more natural motivation is a more fun way to go through your life. And because you can give your natural motivation structure, why not? But in saying that, it might be helpful for you to have a time block for the morning, and in the afternoon you go by natural motivation. The second caveat is that it'll be easier to work with natural motivation when you have stronger emotional regulation skills. Something I say a lot, or I feel like I say a lot, is that productivity is emotional regulation. Those two things are so incredibly closely linked. If you don't have emotional regulation skills, it just might feel a little bit harder to work with natural motivation and not maybe follow your impulses instead. At the end of every podcast, I talk recs of the week that you can dive into if you want to learn more about the topic I talked about today. And I also share a mini move to help you to actually implement what I talked about in today's podcast. The rec of the week this week, I don't have it in my notes, so I can't remember the name, but I think it's a book called Time Zen. This is one of the most unstructured approaches to productivity that I've seen, that I've also vibed with. I think you could really take this and mix it with other more structured approaches as well. So if you're interested in a bit more of a flowy approach, kind of like what I talked about in this video, that'd be a good rabbit hole to go down. And your mini move of the week is try this out. So instead of having a to-do list, try working for a day with a trigger list, a list of your areas of responsibility that you want to give attention to on a regular basis, a list of due dates, of goals. Feed this to your mind and sort of let it know, hey, I want natural motivation to move forward on these things. And whenever you feel a lull or you've finished a task, sit down and wait for natural motivation to come and see where your mind points you. For the month of November, I am releasing weekly videos just as kind of a test and experiment. I'm thinking of this a bit of a playground for my next MuchelleB video. Previously, I was doing once a month, so you might be thinking, wow, I'm seeing you in my feed a lot. This doesn't seem like once a month, that's why. And I'm going to update you in December as to whether I'll keep this going. We'll see how we go. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you soon.